Hello traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to this week's weekly wrap. I'll just move over the price a touch so the webcam is not disturbing it. So if you do enjoy our content, please feel free to subscribe. We have a variety of different presenters coming on, and everyone has a different take and look at different markets. So there's always something in there for everybody, in case you don't agree with or don't really enjoy one particular content presenter. So we hope that if you are enjoying our content, please feel free to subscribe to our newsletter and to our YouTube channel and Twitter, Instagram and Facebook as well. So with that over and done with, we'll talk about this week. So this week has had there's been a few stars this week, and there's also been a little bit of markets have been consolidating without much direction, and I'm mainly referring to some of the US indexes there and some of the risk currencies to the US dollar as well. So we're looking at the US dollar index in front of us at the moment now, and we can see we have had a couple of good days, and we have had a break higher. So this could be a sign of accumulation. Now, if you're familiar with Stan Weinstein, he broke the market down into 4 segments. So you have a stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the moment, this could be seen as stage 1 accumulation, and we are seeing a breakout now. But we'll need to see. We need a bit more time now to see if the market does form a stage 2, which is an uptrend. That obviously comes after the accumulation stage. So we do have signs here with this strong session yesterday, and the US dollar had a very nice session yesterday, and also had a very nice session earlier in the week. So the big, there could be one influence tonight that could rattle the cards. It could be the non-farm payrolls. Now, the jobs data that came out last night came out higher than expected, and off the back of the FOMC meeting minutes this week, rates are still expected to go up, and the Fed is not exactly, they're happier than what they were, but they're not exactly turning dovish over inflation at the moment. There's still worries with inflation, so there's still talk of rates continuing to go up. So the higher jobs data continues to push that mantra forward. So the stronger that continues, then the economy is running hot, so rates go up to help manage that. So that didn't do any favors yesterday for the doves on the side, and we did see this nice rally on the USD. Now, risk currencies retreated as you'd expect. The Aussie remains in a bit of a mess at the moment. There's not really any direction at all, and the euro touched new weekly highs, and it started the week with a big decline. It looked like it's still looking like it's breaking this trend here, and last night's bar just continues to support that. So depending on what we see tonight, it may be a fizzle, or it may give some real direction in terms of a recovery or plunge markets lower. We'll have to see if this pattern continues, and we do have lower highs now, we have lower lows. We'll just have to see if we do see sellers continue to push the market lower. Now, the pound's similar to the euro. We've got new weekly highs, we've got a lot of lower highs, and we've got that new lower low after that trend break. So the bears do look like they're in control over those two markets, probably a little bit more so on the pound to the dollar, but I think a lot will come down to the dollar CAD. Now, the dollar CAD, we hope to see a break of the low from the other day, but that failed to come into play. We saw a strong recovery, and now at the moment it does look like this idea of potentially another move lower could be beaten down. We'll have to see what happens tonight, if it does come out dollar friendly or dollar negative, and if we do see a new shot by sellers to try and get back down to these levels. So at the moment it's a real wait and see on the dollar CAD. The yen has had a mixed week. We've seen some strong start to the week, and then we saw the amazing rally from risk currencies to the yen as it was sold off very heavily. Some really strong moves, and we can just see that there. It was a very strong move down, followed by a strong impulse higher, and that was across the board. The dollar yen didn't see as many, some of the real deep moves like on the Aussie, but it did see a lot of movement as well. So far we've seen from the low this week, we've seen 3.47% added, so that's a lot for a forex pair. There's been a lot of movement for the last few weeks with the yen, especially after the Bank of Japan surprised the market with the news in that meeting. And we also want to talk about some of the indexes. So obviously the German 30 and the CAC this week have been real leaders, and we'll have a look at the France 40 CFD here. So we can see these really strong, really nice strong moves, and getting back up to levels not seen for, since November last year, and the German 30 as well, back up to getting very close to those levels not seen November last year, and some really nice gains added on those two. Now, if we compare that to the US 30 at the moment, which is like a total polar opposite, with the US 30 really struggling to find any direction at the moment. It's been stuck in this range now for a period, for several days, and that really got going on the 21st to the 12th, and it just hasn't been able to break out of that just yet. It's had a few attempts, but they've all been met with pretty solid rejection. So US 30 is another one to watch tonight. Depending on the data that comes out, we may finally see a break of the stalemate that we've got at the moment. You could also play a straddle on it if this is not trading advice at all, but straddles are not, generally not the smartest move to do. But you have a buy above this point and a sell above this point, and depending on the breakout, you can get filled, and hopefully it'll move in your direction. But the risk is it will come back into the range or fill you on both sides, and you'll be double stung. So sometimes a lot of traders wait for it to break, rally up, that rally fails, and then sell on the sell after that retracement's done. So it'll be interesting to see what data comes out tonight, and if it does give the US 30 some direction. Now, gold's been a very strong market this week. It had a dip last night, but we've seen really strong moves so far this week, and we saw a move all the way back up to 1864.50, and we're wondering if it could get back up to test these highs set up here at 1876. It sort of just missed those points, so we'll see if the data does support USD selling, if we do see gold bulls get back on board possibly tonight after the NFP. And oil as well has had an interesting week. We saw this 2-day decline. It didn't quite get down to test these levels at 71.5, but it did come close, and we'll be looking to see what's going on with this rally. So this rally doesn't fill us with a lot of confidence just yet. It could be just a typical retracement rally in a downtrend, and we'll be looking to see if this low is broken, if that downtrend will develop further and then turn into a new leg continuing this overall downtrend. So there's some of the things we are keeping an eye on price wise. Obviously tonight we have the NFP, but we will just touch a couple more indices. I just wanted to touch on the Japanese market as well. The ASX is having a very strong day today. We've seen this break above this resistance. It's starting to push up, but again, it still remains in this bear channel. There are some good signs here. It's starting to break one of the fast downtrends, so if we do see more momentum higher, that could be the starting point of a short-term uptrend beginning on the Aussie. And the Japanese yen at the moment has been lower today, so we are seeing this fight back on the Nikkei, but we have seen a lot of Japanese yen buying, and we can see how fast the Nikkei was sold off due to that. It got all the way back down to some key support at 25,700. It's held that support, so by all means, this is not a buy idea, but we want to see if the JPN 225 can hold at that key support and get something going. If it does break that key support, we'll be then looking to see if it can break through levels down here at 25,500, and if it breaks through that level, then we could see a newer lower breakout, with really this being a major range at this section here. But it hasn't traded down below those levels since, not since really back in 2022 in March. So you would think it would need to be a pretty strong move or have something pretty firm behind it to break through this level here and then push lower. But we're definitely going to keep an eye on this one to see what happens if this rally can turn into something more, more strong in the short term, or if we do see sellers once again have a go at testing and breaking that key support here. Now, just to finish up, we just want to have a look at some of the crypto coins. So crypto continues to be pretty flat, so it's looking at Bitcoin here, but things have been more positive. We can see with Ethereum here, we've had a pretty decent week of gains. Binance Coin as well had that really strong single day rally, so it's all moving in the right direction. And some of the other coins that we've been seeing getting really beaten down, like Solana, continues to hold at highs after putting up a few good rallies this week. And Avalanche is another one that's had a couple good rallies this week. And Canando is trading higher once again today, and we can see it's broken above that range point at 0.26. It's still a long way away from prices that we've seen a couple of months ago, but the signs do look all right. So if we do see any pullbacks or sell-offs, we want to see higher lows develop somewhere in these areas with buyers to start again, just to probably give us some small signs that the market's trying to recover and get a rally going. So there's some of the price action areas that we are watching across some of the markets this week. Now we just want to touch on the key news that's coming out now. Obviously, that is the US and Canadian employment data, with the US being the most important. This is all due at 12:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Average earnings is expected at 0.4%. The non-farm employment change 200k. Unemployment rate to remain steady at 3.7%. And we have ISM services at 2 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, expecting 55 on that index. And the Canadian data, we're looking for 5.2% in unemployment, and we're looking for 6k in the employment change. So just finally touching on the ADA non-farm employment change yesterday. So we can see that was expected at 152k and it came in at 235k. So it was quite a strong figure, and that's what sort of put some worry back into some traders about the dollar, and if rates are going to continue to rise and maybe continue higher than 50 points as was expected by the Fed. But it's definitely rattled some of the doves out there. So that's really what we're looking at, and that's this week's wrap up. So we hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Sorry this video was over 10 minutes once again, but hopefully the information was good, and all the best to your trading. Until the next update, all the best, good trading, and bye for now.